Okay, so welcome back. This is our fourth video for our class, and this is how to add a recipe for your sword. Now, for those of you that may not have used Minecraft all that much, a recipe for an item is a way of creating that item with other items that you can find inside Minecraft. So for example, if you were making a sword and it was a diamond sword, you might use diamond, you might use wood for the handle to make your sword. So we're going to create a recipe for our sword. Okay, so we're going to add our recipe using our templates. I'm going to go back to Eclipse. I'm going to close everything back up, make it nice and neat. Then I'm going to open templates, and we're going to go to code, sample sword, inside of sword, sample sword, underscore main.text, and we need to find the item with the recipe. So right here is a recipe. This is an example. And to copy, we're going to press Command C. Now we need to go back to our program. Here's our code in source main Java, my mod, and main.java. And we are going to go to the place right after we register the block, add a new line, and press Command V to place in our recipe. Now we're going to need to modify our recipe as we would prefer it to be. In our recipe right now, we have apples and sticks that will make our sword, but we might want to change it to be something else. Before we do, let's see if we could import the item stack and the items. Now we don't want the sun items, we want the Minecraft items, so we're going to select here. Okay, now Java is happy and Eclipse is happy. Okay, so before we had our recipes made of apples and sticks, but I'm thinking I might want something else. So what I can do is delete the word apple, delete the dot, the period, and make a new period, and then you can see a list of items appears here. So let's see, what would a rainbow sword be made out of? A chicken? A clock? No. An egg? A fish? Golden shovel? There are sure a lot of items. A melon? That sounds interesting. Well, I am actually thinking a fish. Thinking of some kind of iridescent fish. So I'm going to go back and select the fish. You can see it fills it in here, so you have your items.fish. And I think I'm going to leave this as made with a stick. Now you can see here there are some spaces. You want to leave those in, and this is going to be how you would lay this out when you're crafting. Okay, so I'm going to show you this on the slide. Okay, and then I am going to test this out So I'm going to have to remember this recipe. 3 fish across, and then blank, stick, blank, blank, stick, blank. Okay. I do want to save. Okay, so I'm going to make a new world again. I am going to go to creative and create a new world. See, it's preparing the spawn area down here. Okay. And I am overlooking an ocean full of squid. Okay, so I can press E for inventory, and I need to remember what I made my recipe. So I need fish. Actually, there are 2 fish here. I'm guessing this is the fish. And then I need a few fish. I am going to shift click, and now I have the maximum number of items, which is apparently 64. Okay, now I need some sticks. I can shift click. Now I have 64. Now I'm also going to need a crafting table. Where are the crafting tables? I suppose I can just search. There it is, crafting table. Okay, so I have a crafting table, and I have my items. So I can close this. I'm going to need to place a crafting table. You can do that using control click. Then I'm going to control click on the crafting table. So now here you can see you have 3 squares across and 3 squares down. This is exactly what we were looking at in Eclipse when we saw 3 characters across, and this is actually 3 characters down. So this is your crafting table recipe area. Okay, so I'm going to want to place fish all the way across and then 2 sticks. And I have that all ready to go. I'm going to go back to Minecraft. Hopefully. Okay. Alright, so now I can get my fish. And I am going to put those across. I'm pressing control click to place one of each of those. Now that I have my sticks, I'm going to also press control click, and you can see, presto, rainbow sword. So the raw fish were exactly what I needed, and now I have rainbow sword, and I can place that in my inventory. Awesome. So why don't I take away this, and I can switch to my rainbow sword so we can see it. It's all its beautiful crafted glory. Now I have noticed, I think what my problem before with placing my items is I have a tendency to use 2 fingers to scroll on my Mac, and that creates a problem. So I can just destroy. Now you can see my sword is not very strong. Destroying the crafting table is going to be quite challenging. So next step is let's modify the tool material our sword is made out of. We can make it super strong or super weak, depending on what we want to do. So let's take a look at the slides. Here again is how to add the sword recipe. And take a look at this. Pause is necessary. But I'm going to move on to adding a tool material. So I'm going to go back into Eclipse, and I'm going to go to Templates, Code. Okay, so here are my templates, code, sample sword main.text. Okay, and then I need this last bit here, public static tool material, and I want to copy it all the way through to the semicolon. Lots of funny numbers here. We're going to talk about those in a little bit. Right now, I'm going to press Command C to copy. Then I'm going to go over to main.java, and I want to go just below the line with version. So I'm going to put it up here. Press enter to get a new line, and Command V to paste. Okay, so Command V to paste. Okay, you can see Java's not happy about a few things here. First, let's see if we can import enum helper. Okay, now for some reason it never seems to show me the enum helper that I need here. So I'm actually going to import this manually. And you can see up here we have a big import section. I'm going to add it here. I'm going to import net.minecraftforge, and you can see if it starts to type it, you're on the right track. .common.util.enum helper. Okay, so once that's typed in, yes, you can see this enum helper line has gone away. Okay. So we can also just import the tool material from net Minecraft item. So we can also do that. And now you can see we have net Minecraft item tool material. Okay, so now it is happy with that. And we also need to change our tool material of our sword to be our new tool material. So we're going to delete all of this. And change it to enum tool material sample. Okay, and that's right here what we had created, enum tool material sample. Okay. Now these numbers here are what's going to change your tool, but for right now we're going to test it out. We want to save, click OK. Okay, now we're going to need to change to survival mode to test our tool. So we can go slash game mode 0. Okay. So, oh, no, we don't want to craft. We can see if our sword works any better. It's still not amazing. So let's go back and modify again. Okay. Now, you can see here all these values. What we need to find out is what those values mean. And the way we can do that is by looking at the code for other tool materials. So we're going to try control clicking tool material. Okay, so let's try open declaration. Okay, so in open declaration, you can see the values for the different tool materials and what these different numbers mean. So the first is the harvest level. So this shows what can harvest it. The highest level is 3. Okay, and the next is max uses. So you can see here, for example, emerald is very strong, so it has very high max uses. Gold has fairly low max uses of 32. Okay, and then the next, you can see that you have these F's. That means that they're floats. These others, you can see it says int. These numbers are integers, they're whole numbers. Float means basically a number containing a decimal portion. So they can have, could be 2.5. These are all actually, let me look, yeah, they look like they're actually whole numbers, but a float is basically a number that could have a decimal portion. Okay, so it could have tenths, hundredths, and things like that. Okay, so after max uses, we have efficiency. Okay. So that's how much damage it does. And then we have enchantability. This is the enchantability. This is the damage, and this is the efficiency. So harvest level, max uses, efficiency, damage, and enchantability. Okay, so why don't we try changing the damage that our sword does. So we can go back here. Where did that go? Let's try that again. Control click. We're going to go to open declaration. Okay, you know what? I think we need a comment here. So I am going to make a comment here to help me remember what all these different things are. Now, comments are like a note to yourself or it could be a note to someone else about what a program does. Okay, and in Java, this can start a comment and this will end a comment. Okay, so I'm going to make a comment about what this does. So the first one was, where did it go? Tool material class. The first one was harvest level. Go back. Harvest level. Then we had max uses. Max uses. Then we had efficiency. I'm just gonna copy and paste into my comment. Efficiency. Okay, and then we had, what was next? There are quite a few variables here. Okay, damage. We'll just copy damage versus entity. Command C. Okay, Command V. Damage. And then the last one, I believe, was enchantability. I'm just going to copy and paste that. Okay. So now I can remember harvest level, max uses, efficiency, damage, enchantability. And this is actually just spell check right now. We could ignore enchantability. There, now enchantability is just fine. Okay, so we need to scoot over. Okay, so we still want to modify this. Let's try making its damage 100,000. And for right now, efficiency, let's try to make its efficiency 100,000 too. Now you can see here I'm leaving this 0.0f. This is important because these are all floats, these ones with the f, so we can't change that, otherwise it would be the wrong type of value for our variable. Okay, max uses, we could just change that to be 30,000, and then enchantability I don't think is really going to be that critical, so I'm going to leave that as it was. Now I'm going to test, see how it goes. What I'm hoping is that my rainbow sword is more effective. Okay, so now I'm going to go back into my game. I'm going to keep using this same one. Okay. So now let's see if my rainbow sword doesn't seem particularly more effective. Maybe we should try it on something else. A tree. Okay, so the tree is destroyed pretty easily now. My rainbow sword, and you can see now the attack damage has changed when I hover over. It still takes a little while though. Let's try changing it a bit more. few more zeros. So now we're up to what looks like 100 million. Let's try that. Okay, and actually I think I'm going to create a new world. You can see it looks like it's stuck, but it's definitely working. You can see down here it's preparing the spawn area. Alright, so I'm going to go to single player. This is my new world. Place selected world. Alright, there I am. Go and find my rainbow sword. Okay, so you can see now it has quite a bit more attack damage. So let's see how well that works. Still seems to take a while though. I wonder if I need to be in. Okay. Ah, there we go. So when I change to survival mode, my changes become, it looks like, more effective. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so that is how to change your efficiency, your harvest level. Alright. So that is the end of that section. You can look at your slide as needed. And I'm going to end the recording.